Hey everyone, how you all doing? Good, I hope. It's great to be back with you again. I'm sorry I weren't with you last week, I was quite busy, but I'm back today anyway. And so today I wanted to read the Apocalypse of James. It turns out there's actually a first and a second, and there's talk that they might not be from the same place and the same time, but nonetheless I want to read them both today. They might not come out in one video, might be two, but I'll still try and get them out today anyway. So without further ado, this is from the Nag Hammadi Library, translated by William Shodell. It is the Lord who spoke with me. See now the completion of my redemption. I have given you a sign of these things, James, my brother. For not without reason have I called you my brother, although you are not my brother materially. And I am not ignorant concerning you, so that when I give you a sign, know and hear. Nothing existed except him who is. He is unnameable and ineffable. I myself am also unnameable from him who is, just as I have been given a number of names, two from him who is. And I am before you. Since you have asked concerning femaleness, femaleness existed, but femaleness was not first. And it prepared for itself powers and gods, but it did not exist when I came forth. Since I am an image of him who is, but I have brought forth the image of him, so that the sons of him who is might know that things are theirs, and what things are alien to them. Excuse me. Behold, I shall reveal to you everything of this mystery. For they will seize me the day after tomorrow, but my redemption will be near. James said, Rabbi, you have said they will seize me, but what can I do? He said to me, Fear not, James. You too will they seize, but leave Jerusalem. For it is she who always gives the cup of bitterness to the sons of light. She is a dwelling place of a great number of archons, but your redemption will be preserved from them, so that you may understand who they are and what kinds they are. You will something, and listen. They are not something, but archons. These 12, something down, something archons, something upon his own hebdomad. James said, Rabbi, are there then 12 hebdomads and not 7 as there are in the scriptures? The Lord said, James, he who spoke concerning this scripture had a limited understanding. I, however, shall reveal to you what has come forth from him who has no number. I shall give a sign concerning their number. As for what has come forth from him who has no measure, I shall give a sign concerning their measure. James said, Rabbi, behold then, I have received their number. There are 72 measures. The Lord said, These are the 72 heavens, which are their subordinates. These are the powers of all their might, and they were established by them. And these are they who distributed everywhere, existing under authority of the 12 archons. The inferior power among them brought forth for itself angels and unnumbered hosts. Him who is, however, has been given something on account of something. Him who is something, they are unnumbered. If you want to give them a number now, you will not be able to do so until you cast away from your blind thought this bond of flesh which encircles you. And then you will reach him who is. And you will no longer be James, rather you are one who is. And all those who are unnumbered will all have been named. James said, Rabbi, in what way shall I reach him who is, since all these powers and these hosts are armed against me? He said to me, These powers are not armed against you specifically, but they are armed against each other. It is against me that they are armed, and they are armed with other powers, but they are armed against me in judgment. They did not give something to me in it, something through them. In this place something suffering, I shall. He will something, and I shall not rebuke them. But there shall be within me a silence and a hidden mystery. But I am faint-hearted before their anger. James said, Rabbi, if they arm themselves against you, then is there no blame? You have come with knowledge, that you might rebuke their forgetfulness. You have come with recollection, that you might rebuke their ignorance. But I was concerned because of you. For you descended into a great ignorance, but you have not defiled by anything in it. For you descended into a great mindlessness, and your recollection remained. You walked in mud, and your garments were not soiled. And you have not been buried in their filth, and you have not been caught. And I was not like them, but I clothed myself with everything of theirs. There is in me forgetfulness, yet I remember things that are not theirs. There is in me something, and I am in their something. Something knowledge, something not in their sufferings. Excuse me. But I have become afraid before them, since they rule. And what will they do? What will I be able to say? What word will I be able to say that I may escape them? The Lord said, James, I praise your understanding and your fear. If you continue to be distressed, do not be concerned for anything else except your redemption. For behold, I shall complete this destiny upon this earth, as I have said from the heavens. And I shall reveal to you your redemption. James said, Rabbi, how, after these things, will you appear to us again? After they seize you, you will complete this destiny, and go up to him who is. The Lord said, James, after these things I shall reveal to you everything, not for your sake alone, but for the sake of the unbelief of men, so that faith may exist in them. For a multitude will attain to faith, and they will increase in something. And after this I shall appear for a reproof to the archons, and I shall reveal to them that he cannot be seized. If they seize him, then he will overpower each of them. But now I shall go. Remember the things I have spoken, and let them go up before you. James said, Lord, I shall hasten as you have said. The Lord said farewell to him, and fulfilled what was fitting. When James heard of his suffering, and was much distressed, they awaited the sign of his coming. He came after several days. James was walking upon the mountain, which is called Guargalon, with his disciples, who listened to him because they had been distressed. And he was something, a comforter, saying, This is something, second something. Then the crowd dispersed, but James remained, something prayer, something, as was his custom. The Lord appeared to him. Then he stopped his prayer and embraced him and kissed him, saying, Rabbi, I've found you. I've heard of your sufferings which you endured, and I've been much distressed. My compassion you know. Therefore, on reflection, I was wishing that you would not see this people. They must be judged for these things that they have done, for these things that they have done are contrary to what is fitting. The Lord said, James, do not be concerned for me or for this people. I am he who is within me. I have never suffered in any way, nor have I been distressed. And this people has done me no harm. But this people existed as a type of the archons, and it was deserved to be destroyed through them. But something the archons, something who has something, but since it something angry with, the just something is his servant. Therefore, your name is James the Just. You see how you will become sober when you see me, and you stop this prayer. And since you are a just man of God, you have embraced me and kissed me. Truly I say to you that you have stirred up great anger and wrath against yourself. But this has happened so that these others might come to be. But James was timid and wept. He was very distressed. And they both sat down upon a rock. And the Lord said to him, James, thus you will undergo these sufferings. But do not be sad, for the flesh is weak. It will receive what has been ordained for it. But as for you, do not be timid or afraid. The Lord ceased. Now when James heard these sufferings, he wiped away the tears in his eyes, a very bitter something which is something. The Lord said to him, James, behold, I shall reveal to you your redemption. When you are seized and you undergo these sufferings, a multitude will arm themselves against you, that they may seize you. And in particular, 3 of them will seize you, they who sit there as toll collectors. Not only do they demand toll, but they also take away the souls by theft. When you come into their power, one of them who is a guard will say to you, Who are you, and where are you from? You are to say to him, I am a son, and I am from the Father. And he will say to you, What sort of son are you? To what father do you belong? And you are to say to him, I am from the pre-existent Father, and the son of the pre-existent one. And when he says to you something, you are to say to him something, in the something that I might something. A lot of something going on there. Something of alien things. You are to say to him, they are not entirely alien, but they are from Achamoth, who is the female. And these she produced as she brought down a race from the pre-existent one. So then they are not alien, but they are ours. They are indeed ours, because she who is mistress of them is from the pre-existent one. At the same time, they are alien, because the pre-existent one did not have intercourse with her when she produced them. When he also says to you, Where will you go? You are to say to him, To the place from which I have come, there shall I return. And if you say these things, you will escape their attacks. But when you come to those 3 detainers who take away souls by theft in that place, something these. You something, a vessel, something, much more than something, of the one whom you something for something, her root. You too will be sober, something. But I shall call upon the imperishable knowledge, which is Sophia, who is in the Father, who is the mother of Achamoth. Achamoth had no father, nor male consort, but she is female, and from a female. She produced you without a male, since she was alone, and in ignorance as to what lives through her mother, because she thought that she alone existed. But I shall cry out to her mother, and then they will fall into confusion, and into blame, their root, their race, their mother. But you will go up to what is yours, something you will, something the pre-existent one. Excuse me again, sorry. They are a type of 12 disciples, the 12 pairs, Achamoth, which is translated Sophia, and who I myself am, and who the imperishable Sophia is, through whom you will be redeemed, and who are all the sons of him who is. These things they have known and have hidden within them. But you are to hide these things within you, and you are to keep silence. But you are to reveal to them Adai. When you depart, immediately war will be made with this land. Weep then for him who dwells in Jerusalem, but let Adai take these things to heart. In the 10th year, let Adai sit and write them down. And when he writes them down, something, and they are to give them something, he has the something. He is called Levi. Then he is to bring something, word, something from what I said earlier. something a woman something, Jerusalem in her something, and he begets 2 sons through her. They are to inherit these things, and the understanding of him who exalts. And they are to receive something through him from his intellect. Now the younger of them is greater, and may these things remain hidden in him until it comes to the age of 17 years, something beginning, something through them. They will pursue him exceedingly, since they are from his something companions. He will be proclaimed through them, and they will proclaim his word. Then he will become a seed of something. James said, I am satisfied, something, and they are something, my soul. Yet another thing I ask of you, who are the 7 women who have been your disciples? And behold, all women bless you. I also am amazed how powerless vessels have become strong by a perception which is in them. The Lord said, you something well, something a spirit of something, a spirit of thought, a spirit of counsel, of a something, a spirit something, a spirit of knowledge, something of their fear, something when we have passed through the breath of his Archon, who is named Adonias, something him, and something he was ignorant, something when I came forth from him. He remembered that I am the son of his. He was gracious to me, and at that time as his son. And then before I appeared here, he cast them among his people, and from the place of heaven the prophets, something. James said, Rabbi, something, altogether something. In them especially something. Sorry about this translation, there's just so many gaps. The Lord said, James, I praise you, something, walk upon the earth, something. The words, while he something, on the something. For cast away from you the cup which is bitterness. For some from something set themselves against you. For you have begun to understand their roots from beginning to end. Cast away from yourself all lawlessness, and beware lest they envy you. When you speak these words of this perception, encourage these 4, Salome, and Miriam, and Martha, and Arsinoe, something, since he takes something, to me, he is something, burnt offerings and something. But I something, not in this way, but something, first fruits of the something upward, so that the power of God might appear. The perishable has gone up to the imperishable, and the female element has attained to this male element. James said, Rabbi, into these 3 things then, has there something been cast? For they have been reviled, and they have been persecuted, something. Behold, something everything, something from anyone, something. For you have received something of knowledge, and something, that what is the something go something, you will find something. It's unbelievable. But I shall go forth, and shall reveal that they believed in you, that they may be content with their blessings in salvation, and this revelation may come to pass. And he went at that time immediately and rebuked the 12, and cast them of them the contentment concerning the way of knowledge, something in the majority of them, something when they saw, the messenger took in. The others something said, something from his earth. For he is not worthy of life. These then were afraid. They arose, saying, we have no part in this blood, for a just man will perish through injustice. James departed, so that something look, something for we, something him. That is the Apocalypse of James, or, they probably should have titled it something. So many gaps there. I'm sorry, it was quite a bad read, but really interesting as well, and the way that James rebukes the 12 disciples and stuff, and how it ties in with the 12 archons and all that. But I'll start part 2. It's apparently from someone else, translated by Charles Hedrick. And it's not part 2, I suppose, it's the second apocalypse. Anyway, here we go. This is the discourse that James the Just spoke in Jerusalem, which Marim, one of the priests, wrote. He had told it to Theuda, the father of the Just One, since he was a relative of his. He said, "Hasten, come with Mary, your wife, and your relatives, therefore something, of this something to him. He will understand. For behold, a multitude are disturbed over his something. They are greatly angry at him. Something, and they pray something. For he would often say these words, and others also. He used to speak these words while a multitude of people were seated. But on occasion he entered and did not sit down in the place as he was custom. Rather he sat above the 5th flight of steps, which is slightly esteemed, while all the people the word something. I am he who received revelation from the I am he who received revelation from the pleroma of imperishability. I am he who was first summoned by him who is great, and who obeyed the Lord, he who passed through the worlds, something, he who stripped himself and went about naked, he who was found in a perishable state, though he was about to be brought up to imperishability. This Lord, who is present, came as a son who sees, and as a brother who is sought. As a brother he was sought. He will come to something, produced him because something, and he unites something, make him free something, in something. He who came to something. Now again, am I rich in knowledge, and I have a unique understanding, which was produced only from above, and the something comes from a something. I am the something whom I knew. That which was revealed to me was hidden from everyone, and shall only be revealed through him. These two who see, and they have already proclaimed through these words, he shall be judged with the unrighteous. He who lived with blasphemy died by means of blasphemy. He who is cast out, they something the flesh, and it is by knowledge that I shall come forth from the flesh. I am surely dying, but it is in life that I shall be found. I entered in order that they might judge. I shall come forth in something, judge something. I do not bring blame against the servants of his. I hasten to make them free, and want to take them above him, who wants to rule over them. If they are helped, I am the brother in secret, who prayed to the Father, until he something, in something, reigns something, imperishability. I am the first son who was begotten. He will destroy the dominion of them all. I am the beloved. I am the righteous one. I am the son of the Father. I speak even as I heard. I command even as I received the order. I show even as I have found. Behold, I speak in order that I might come forth. Pay attention to me in order that you may see me. If I have come into existence, who then am I? For I did not come as I am, nor would I have appeared as I am. For I used to exist for a brief period of time. Something. Once when I was sitting deliberating, he opened the door. That one whom you hated and persecuted came in to me and said to me, "Hail, my brother, hail." As I raised my face to stare at him, my mother said to me, "Do not be frightened, my son, because he said, 'my brother' to you. For you were nourished with this same milk, Because of this he calls me my mother, for he is not a stranger to us. He is your stepbrother. Something these words, something great. I shall find them, and they shall come forth. However, I am the stranger, and they have no knowledge of me in their thoughts, for they know me in this place. But it was fitting that others know through you. You are the one whom I say, hear and understand. For a multitude, when they hear, will be slow-witted. But you understand, as I shall be able to tell you. Your father is not my father, but my father has become a father to you. This virgin, about whom you hear, this is how something, virgin something, namely, the virgin something, how something to me for something, to know something, not as something who I something. Oh. For this one something to him, and this also is profitable for you. Your father, whom you consider to be rich, shall grant that you inherit all these things that you see. I proclaim to you, to tell these words that I shall speak. When you hear, therefore, open your ears and understand, and walk accordingly. It is because of you that they pass by, activated by that one who is glorious. And if they want to make a disturbance and seize possession, something you began, something not, nor those who are coming, who were sent forth by him to make this present creation. After these things, when he is ashamed, he shall be disturbed, that his labour, which is far from the aeons, is nothing, and his inheritance, which he boasted to be great, shall appear small, and his gifts, that are not blessings, his promises are evil schemes. For you are not an instrument of his compassion, but it is through you that he does violence. He wants to do injustice to us, and will exercise dominion for a time allotted to him. But understand and know the Father, who has compassion, when he was not given an inheritance that was unlimited, nor does it have a limited number of days, but it is as the eternal day. Something it is, something perceives something, and he said something. For in fact, he is not one come from them, and because of this, he is despised. Because of this he boasts, so that he may not be reproved. For because of this, he is superior to those who are below him, those by whom you were looked down upon. After imprisoned those from the Father, he seized them and fashioned them to resemble himself, and it is with him that they exist. I saw from the 8 those things that happened, and I have explained how they happened. They were visited while they were in another form, and while I was watching, they came to know me as I am, through those whom I know. Now, before those things have I opened, they will make a something. I'm sorry. Now, before those things have happened, they will make us something. I know how they attempted to come down to this place, that he might approach something, the small children. But I will wish to reveal for you, and the Spirit of power, in order that he might reveal to those who are yours, and those who wish to enter, and who seek to walk in the way that is before the door. Open the good door for you. And they follow you, and they enter you, escort them aside, and give a reward to each one who is ready for it. For you are not the Redeemer, nor a helper of strangers. You are an illuminator and a redeemer of those who are mine, and now of those who are yours. You shall reveal to them. You shall bring good among them all. You they shall admire because of every powerful deed. You are whom the heavens bless. You he shall envy, he who has called himself your Lord. I am something, those who are instructed in these things with you. For your sake, they will be told these. I can't read. For your sake, they will be told these things, and it will come to rest. For your sake, they will reign, and will become kings. For your sake, they will have pity on whomever they pity. For just as you are first having clothed yourself, you are also the first who will strip himself, and you shall become as you were before you were stripped. And he kissed my mouth, and he took hold of me, saying, My beloved, behold, I shall reveal to you these things that neither the heavens nor the archons have known. Behold, I shall reveal to you those things that he did not know. He who boasted, something there is no other except me. Am I not alive? Because I am a father. Do I not have power for everything? Behold, I shall reveal to you everything, my beloved. Understand and know them, that you may come forth just as I am. Behold, I shall reveal to you him who is hidden. But now stretch out your hand, now take hold of me. Then I stretched out my hands, and I did not find him as I thought he would be. But afterward I heard him saying, Understand and take hold of me. Then I understood, and I was afraid, and I was exceedingly joyful. Therefore I tell you, judges, you have been judged, and you did not spare, but you were spared. Be sober, something you did not know. He was that one whom he created the heaven and earth, and dwelled in it, did not see. He was the one who is the life. He was the light. He was the one who will come to be. And again, he shall provide an end for what has begun, and a beginning for what is about to be ended. He was the Holy Spirit and the Invisible One, who did not descend upon the earth. He was the Virgin, and that which he wishes happens to him. I saw that he was naked, and there was no garment clothing him. Excuse me. That which he wills happens to him. Renounce this difficult way, which is so variable, and walk in accordance with him, who desires that you become free men with me, after you have passed above every dominion. For he will not judge you for the things that you did, but he will have mercy on you. For it is not you that did them, but it is your Lord that did them. He was not a wrathful one, but he was a kind father,